You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome in to the Outspoken Sportscast here. You got your hosts Brian and Craig on with you. Hey Craig, what's going on, brother?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, We're going to talk about a lot of football today. We got Talks on Tuesday, Worst Start Edition. Me and Craig are going to give you the top teams that had the worst start. We're going to answer that question. Who had the worst start to their season? We're going to break down those teams. We're here for you. And then we're going to go into week one. We're going to give you our predictions for week two and finish up with a little bit of college football action as well right after this, guys. All right, guys, welcome in. Glad to be back on a Tuesday. We just had a fantastic, crazy week one in the NFL. Our question was brought up today of who had the worst start to the NFL season. I don't know if you're going to agree with me, Craig, but I have the Dallas Cowboys at number one there, being that they had the worst start to the NFL season. Not only... let's not even talk about the play on the field, but they lose their starting quarterback for, they say, 6 to 8 weeks. And you Cowboy fans got to feel like the season's just about over before it even really started.
Yeah, I mean, the world's falling apart. Our pets' heads are falling off. It's just, in shambles already. I mean, the offense looked anemic as it was, even with Dak Prescott, and then you lose him to a random thumb that hits a shoulder pad or whatever. And the new report is 4 weeks, but I don't believe that.
That's from Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones, pumping sunshine and
Dr.
daffodils.
Jones over here.
Yeah, up people.
It's a sell job.
Yeah, 100%. But they're not putting him on IR, so what does that tell you? It has to tell you something, because that wastes the roster spot. So if you're going to do that, and you're going to use that roster spot, maybe there is an outside chance he comes back, in 4 weeks. Because the way they did it with the whole, they haven't got a backup quarterback, they haven't got a kicker, and they're moving them up and down from the practice squad. You only get 2 guys that you can do that with. So if you're not going to put Cooper, Rush, or Maher on the active roster, and you're going to leave Prescott on the active roster, that tells me, because now you can't bring Rush and Greer up and the kicker, so somebody's going to have to come to the active roster, and then you'll be able to move Greer and Deal. So unless they're going to go with no backup quarterback and just hope Cooper Rush doesn't get hurt, I mean, I don't know. So roster-wise, to not put Dak on IR and free up that spot tells me that they have a plan. So I don't know. But yes, 100%. Them, or as putrid as the Rams looked the other night, that's a close second.
Yeah, I got the Rams on my list here too. They're number 5 on my list though.
Yeah.
But I do have the Rams on there. You got the team coming off Super Bowl. Let's see what they're gonna do. Let's see if they can repeat, and they get totally wiped off the map at home week 1 against the Bills. Now we do think that the Bills will go win it all. Everyone's very high on the Bills, but the Rams didn't even show up. And to not even show up coming off of the Super Bowl last year is not a good start for them. I got them number 5. Number 2, I had the Packers at number 2 as the worst, but I got to move away because the Broncos just took their place last night. The Broncos.
The Russ revenge tour is off to a good start. Wow.
I don't understand. Now, look, we talked about it, right? We talked about it hundreds of times. It might take a little bit for Russell to get into this system, and that could be the question mark. But to lose to Seattle right off the bat, to a team that has Geno Smith as their quarterback, and not only that, you get your head coach who has no clue what he's doing in time management. If I'm a Seattle Seahawks fan, I'm pulling my hair out, or I'm a Broncos fan, I'm pulling my hair out at the end of the game. You get to midfield with over a minute left with a couple timeouts, and you let the clock drain down all the way down, call a timeout, and settle for a 64-yard field goal.
Yeah, you're not in Denver. If you're in Denver, 64 yards, maybe with the thin air, that's fine.
It's 4th and 9. You bought Russell Wilson in here. Sorry, 4th and 5. You brought Russell Wilson in here, and you straight up said, I trust my kicker to make a 64-yard field goal before you make 5 yards. What are we doing?
Yeah, the whole.
Oh my
there
gosh!
were 50,000 Bronco fans that were screaming last night that time management wasn't. You thought Mike McCarthy's time management was bad. Nathaniel Hackett, step on up, pal.
He's got the mulligan of a brand new head coach. But this is child's play.
Armchair quarterback can tell you how to run the time.
Ridiculous. That's the blunder. That's the coaching blunder of the week.
Both Super Bowl teams look horrible. The Bengals look. Joe Burrow, 5 turnovers. He was throwing the ball all around the field. The offensive line upgrade, note to self, didn't work because he was on his back the whole time. Lyle Collins out there looking like a turnstile. Granted, he was
going up against TJ Watt. So
TJ Watt does that to a lot of people. But
you put on a clinic.
Yeah, goodness. Did you just not show up? They finally got it going a little bit. Threw the ball to Chase and threw the ball to around the field a little bit. But
Joe Burrow had to be betting on the Steelers. He was trying to give that game away in the first half.
Sure looked like it. Sure looked like somebody had some money on it. Because that was crazy.
I got the Bengals there at number 4 on my list.
Yeah, Green Bay. That looked like either Alan Lazard is the next Jerry Rice, or that list we made earlier of how much it will affect quarterbacks needs to be completely wiped out
and changed.
And Aaron Rodgers needs to be number 1 on that list.
I'm going to go on a rant about Green Bay. Do you want to do it now, or do you want to do it when we go through
you
the
go
games?
ham banana whenever you want there, brother.
The Packers didn't show up last year, game 1. We lost 31-3. We lost 27-3 or 27-7.
Yeah, you scored a touchdown because the Cowboys were the only one in the NFL.
Yeah, scored a touchdown. That's right. I should remember that one.
Yeah.
And my defensively, we had last year, Craig. This is so frustrating. We played zone all day long. Justin Jefferson owned us. He had a new career high in yards. He ran. He had everything.
I got a stat for that when you're done.
Last year, Craig, can you answer this question for me? Last year, not only do we have Jair Alexander, which is healthy and back this season, which is a shutdown cornerback. Last year, our guys in the secondary, we had multiple guys rate very high in one-on-one man coverage. Eric Stokes, a rookie, rated the highest. When you man-on-man, they did their job. So please tell me why We decided to use zone all freaking game. We didn't. J.R. Alexander should have been shadowing Justin Jefferson, and then you go man to man with everyone else. We're playing zone. You got your new rookie linebacker Quay out there guarding Jefferson on the crossing routes. Well, what in the hell's going on?
So I heard a stat today. Last year, Justin Jefferson was lined up on a linebacker or safety 26% of the time. In game 1 this year, Justin Jefferson was lined up on a linebacker or safety 67% of the time. I wonder why he had a career day, because he's out there running routes on a linebacker. Like, the guy's running circles. This is not rocket science.
We got Quay. We got our rookie.
158 yards and 17 touchdowns. We're like, we're going to let that linebacker keep covering him. He can't keep up, bro.
We didn't make any adjustments, Coach Barry. What the hell?
Just letting him. The linebacker's coming to the sideline needing an oxygen mask going, Coach, I can't keep up with that guy. And he's like, you can get it, kid.
You got it. You're a rookie. It's okay.
You got it. You can do it. You can do it, champ.
We all have tough days out there. Yeah. You're doing what you need to.
Get back in there, champ.
I was pissed, man.
Here's a juice box. Get back in there, champ. What are we doing? No. Yeah, that game plan. Please use that on November 4th when you play Dallas, because
you're hoping Dak's back for that game.
Yes, I am, because that is the game plan I want you to use on CeeDee Lamb. Let him out there on some linebackers and say, don't triple coverage.
Don't change it.
Don't use Tampa plan. Don't use that. That plan sucks.
Well, they asked J.R. Alexander about it, and he said, if you know me, I wanted to shadow him, but that's not my call. So maybe after this, we'll start using him the way we freaking should. Yeah, my gosh.
That didn't work.
I'm not even talking about the offense yet.
No, We'll get into that.
We'll get into that a little later here. Anybody else? I think the Titans had a pretty bad one.
Yes, when you lose
to the Giants
at home, I mean, you give that guy the award for having the stones to go for 2.
Oh, they were calling him Brian Dayballs.
Yeah, because he went all in on that deal. But I mean, I guess when you're playing with house money, you're supposed to be the worst team in football. Yep. You're supposed to get the number 1 draft pick. If you lose, you lose.
You have nothing
to lose. Supposed to lose anyway. Nobody, and you're never gonna have more support and more deal from your ownership than on game 1. Like, you're going to get a mulligan. If it doesn't work, you go to ownership and go, hey, my bad, that didn't work. Now you look like a hero. So I think that's pretty much it. I think that's the 5 that really laid eggs.
I don't know about you, Craig, but this is probably the weirdest week 1 I've seen in a long time.
Well, back that up with the massive college football weekend you had of just it just rolled into Sunday. The upset wagon just rolled on in across Saturday and into Sunday.
Yeah. Our Survivor League, we had 7 people lose week 1, including myself. Because the Giants beat the Titans. I don't trust the Titans, but I was like, they're going to beat
You want to just Venmo me now, or just okay.
All right, let's go through the week 1 games. I'm gonna screen share here real quick here.
I went 9-6-1, and thanks Baker for that. Appreciate that. That 58-yarder that hit the net, still going up to ruin that deal.
You went 9-6-1. I was 11-4-1. So I still had a good game, or good week of predicting the teams. I just picked the wrong team.
I was like, who's logging in? Is Jeff here? I was like, what's going on?
We'll share the screen here. I still had a good, 11-4-1. I'll take that every
solid.
week. So I made a spreadsheet and I'm keeping
I like
up.
how
I'm
you go
keeping up
11,
with them.
4-1, and the one of the four is the
The Titans.
survivor pick. So
Yeah,
good job there.
beautiful. All right, well, we already talked about the Rams game. You already know about that. But the Saints and Falcons, interesting game there. We had
Yeah. What are we 28-3 choke show again? I mean, you were up the whole game, and then New Orleans blocks a field goal at the end of the game to survive.
You give up 17 in the fourth quarter. That's how you lose
Yeah.
this ball game.
Yeah.
That's how you lose this ball game.
To Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota, they were balling in the first half. I was like,
Geno Smith.
yeah.
You know, go figure.
I was like, my gosh, the Saints. And that's why I didn't want to pick the Saints because I said I can't trust the Saints, and I said, well, the Falcons are going to win, and they come back and win on the field goal there. So well, you got Baker's revenge, and it should have worked.
Well, and he started slow. He started slow, but he came on nicely, and he takes the team down the field, and he leaves Cleveland some time, and 58 yards, that guy just smashes one through the thing, and it hits the net, still going up. I mean, he just, booted it out.
Oh, Brissett looked horrible. 147 yards.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not, I'm not happy with that. If I'm Cleveland, I'm not happy. I'm looking for another option for the next 10 weeks because Jacoby Brissett was Jacoby Brissett.
Did McCaffrey get hurt? 10 carries for 33 yards? Like, that is terrible.
I don't think so. He had the shit injury, but he was wiped off the injury report afterwards. But that's why we stay away from McCaffrey in fantasy football.
Yeah, horrible. He averaged 3 yards a carry. You got Nick Chubb went off for 141. So I thought the Browns were going to pull. I thought the Panthers were going to pull it off, but they
sure. I mean, they played better. So if I'm a Carolina fan, I'm not really. Baker came in and he I don't know his final stat line, but he started slow, but he came on and put some points up at the end.
Baker was. I'm pulling it up right here, and we can all look at it. But the Baker was 16 to 27, 235, a touchdown and an interception. So, I mean, not terrible. That'll win you some games being in the Panthers.
Yeah. And that Cleveland pass rush is pretty brutal. I mean, you're not going to face that every week.
Yeah, you're not. And they're going to stop the run, and obviously they shut down McCaffrey. So, they're a good defensive team.
Yeah.
Well, this shocked a lot of people. The Bears beat the 49ers.
Yeah,
and
did.
The biggest question mark was coming into this was Trey Lance, and he was not the guy. He was just garbage.
Yeah.
13 to 28, 164, and an interception.
Trey,
he rushed. He rushed for 54 yards.
Old Jimmy's sitting there on the sidelines going, "Come on, coach. What you got, baby?" Yeah, I don't know. Lance is not the guy.
Sorry, go ahead.
He just isn't the guy. He's not going to be the guy. So it is what it is. The Bears aren't great defensively. They're not great offensively. They were playing in a slip and slide out there on 8 inches of water.
Well, that's the excuse they're using for Trey Lance. Oh, it was wet and it was bad field. And
and it was, but he didn't have any problem running, and Justin Fields didn't have a lot of problem. I mean, the game was ugly.
Fields only threw the ball 17 times.
Yeah.
He completed 8 of them. How do you win a game when you only complete 8 passes? He had 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. This is just
it was a brutal game to watch. It was. It was brutal to watch.
Terrible.
So Bengals, Steelers, that was brutal to watch.
Well, that was pretty entertaining to watch, though. In my
opinion. It was at the end when we're blocking extra points and putting the laces in and missing Shankopotamus. Shankopotamus hit the 29-yard field goal and laces in, and he duck hooks it right off the deal.
This is how bad This is how bad the
Cincinnati had 5 million turnovers and still all they had to do was kick an extra point. All they had to do was kick an extra point. And if they challenge the Jamar Chase deal, they don't even have to do that.
Well, the thing, too, is their long snapper got hurt in the game. That guy is going to get that guy.
At least
That guy is going to get a contract out of this, I think. Oh, we need a better long snapper. That's what happened. It's the guy who snapped the ball. He snapped one between the holder's legs, and then the other one was way too high. It took too long.
I knew the high
that's how
one.
It got deflected.
You saw McPherson double clutch, and the laces were in, and I just started laughing when I saw that.
It was bad. It was bad. This is how bad the Steelers are, though.
Oh yeah, Trubisky
could do nothing. Their offensively was garbage.
Offensively, they're trash.
They let him hang around.
Yeah.
The Bengals should have won this game still, and they did not. Now,
yeah, if I'm Tomlin, I'm going to the rookie here very shortly because Trubisky looked like Trubisky. It just was not good.
Not like going to cost you a game, but not going to win you anything.
No. Very
Joe Burrow,
bus driver-esque, just try not to make mistakes. He didn't get the rookie wide receiver involved at all. Pickens was a non-factor.
Yeah.
Najee, of course, hurts his leg at the end of the game. That appears to be okay. The MRI came back. He's fine.
Can you even see the screen share, or is it just kind of useless?
You can see that you're playing videos. You can't really. I can't analyze the play or anything. But
it's all fuzzy. I don't know why it's so fuzzy.
Oh, mine's not fuzzy. It's just smaller. It's just distance wise. So you have that game. 100. It came down. It was entertaining to watch, but it was still not.
Oh, it was one heck of an entertaining game.
Yeah.
Is that better?
That is.
I don't know. Yeah, it was an entertaining game. And Joe Burrow had 338 yards. Other than the interceptions, he had a decent game. It's just killer for the interceptions. What did you think of the Eagles and Lions?
I thought the referees needed to all be fired. That's what I think. Jalen Hurts throws 4 into the dirt, and they said, and they're screaming, why is that non-intentional grounding? And they were like, well, he was outside the pocket. I said, yeah, didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage, though. Oh, well, there was a wide receiver in the area. In the area of the stadium, like he was in the stand selling pizza in the area, like was in the zip code? What area was he in? Because I'm watching it on a 75-inch screen and I don't see any jerseys. What are we talking about? And then there was a pass interference call to end the game that gave Philadelphia a first down that was the worst I've ever seen. The defensive back is running with the guy, turns around, looks at the ball, it skips behind him. Like he throws it into the yard marker, and the ref and the receiver's coming back through the the defensive back comes back through him, and they go pass interference. Oh, there's 2 fouls on the play, offsetting. No, well, there shouldn't be on the defense. There shouldn't be anything because it ends up giving the Eagles a first down, and they clock the game out. And if you're Detroit, you didn't play as well defensively as you would have liked. Your rookie Aiden Hutchinson was kind of a no-show. They really didn't call his name all day. But offensively, boy, look out. Goff was throwing the ball down the field. He had your longest air yards per pass attempt at like 9 or 10 yards in the air. So he was throwing the ball down the field to St. Brown, to Swift had 150 something yards.
Swift was good. Yeah.
He was great. So if you can just tighten up defensively a little bit, get some more pressure on they started off. They had Jalen Hurts
started off
confused.
Back in the backfield almost every play. I was like, okay.
Well, he was 0 for 5. Hurts was 0 for 5 and didn't know what hit him. And then all of a sudden he starts doing RPOs and does what he wants and has some rushing yards and has some passing yards. And, they did part of that was a pick six. Part of the 38 points was a pick six by Goff. That probably cost you the game. But if you're a Lions fan, you have to have some hope that you played better and you get to play Washington this week. So we'll see.
This is a game I was really interested in.
So was I. I thought the Lions could really hold with them and beat them, and they did hold with them.
They hold with them. They scored some garbage time points to come back in the end.
So in the end, it probably wasn't as close as 3 points, but they did play better than they just kind of had some defensive miscues.
I was looking forward to this game because not looking forward, but just kind of interested to see the new Philadelphia Eagles, the team they brought in, the draft that they had.
Well,
and Brown did pretty good.
The wide receiver had 150 yards. Yeah, Brown
looked fantastic. He looked dominant out there.
So that's gonna be a problem.
The Eagles looked good. I thought now defensively they could have done better, but offensively
it wasn't a defensive game.
They looked
the
pretty
over
good.
Under was busted out of the yard.
Hurts. I still think Hurts is garbage. I don't think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, no,
he did enough.
He didn't start well
to get the job done. And the Lions, this is a team they're going to come out and play. They play with a lot of heart, and you can see it. And if they played the Packers on that Sunday, they would have whooped our butts too. So the way they played,
yeah.
You got Colts and Texans. Texans blow it. They were up 20-3, I think. Something like that. And they blow it. They go to overtime.
Again, just like Dayball goes and goes for it. Lovie Smith punts the ball with under a minute to go at almost midfield. And instead of going for it and trying to get a first down and trying to get in field goal range and trying to win the game, he plays for the tie. And I mean, you're not expected to win any football games. If you lose, you lose. Go for it, man. Yeah. Put some guys out there and do some things. Your quarterback had a good day. Your running back had a horrible day. Dameon Pierce was non-existent. But the quarterback had a good day. You scored a bunch of points. You played pretty good defensively. You weren't supposed to be in this game at all. And if you're Matt Ryan, you got to be pulling your hair out. Like, I went here and this is what I get. And Taylor did okay, but nothing special. It's just, I don't know, man. Hopefully you think if you're a Colts fan, you got to hope that maybe it's just needing some time to unlock some chemistry and be there. I don't know.
Just a bad performance. I mean,
absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's you didn't play a lot in the preseason together, so you need some time to unlock the offense. I don't know. You can't
just not the way you want to debut.
No, not a debut. No, absolutely not.
The Broncos didn't debut. The Colts didn't debut. Just bad. The only one that debuted was Carson Wentz. He had 4 touchdown passes. But I think the Colts. Look, I predicted the Colts to win this game, or not to win this game. I did predict them to win this game. I predicted them to win the division, so I think pull their head out their ass and play better than this. Because
that's not going to happen.
If you can't beat the Texans, well, heck, the Titans lost the Giants, so this division is up for grabs.
Yeah, that's the only division. The only division that didn't have a win, and 2 of them played each other.
That's the first time I think I've ever seen that happen. You got Patriots getting blown out by the Dolphins. Patriots are on their way down. Mac Jones got hurt during this game, but I don't see another quarterback on the stat line, so I'm guessing that he played most of the game and
he's
probably got hurt during the end.
They said he's already playing Sunday. He'll be fine.
Yeah. 20-7. Tua. I mean, they weren't spectacular. I mean, I don't think Tua
had some bright spots, and he had some real not bright spots. He had a guy wide open and threw it in the dirt.
Oh yeah, I saw that. They made a little TikTok on that, and he's right down the sideline.
Wide open, and he just buries it in the dirt.
He fastballs it right into the ground.
He also hit Waddle in stride for 58, and Tyreek Hill had a bunch of yards. So I mean, we'll see how he really ends up in the long run. But I like Miami. I like the core of that team. I like the new coach. We'll see if I don't think they have anything for Buffalo, but I think they can sneak in a wild card, especially if the Colts and and anybody from the South is going to look that terrible.
Ravens beat the Jets 24-9. Nothing to talk about in that game.
No, other than the quarterback
What?
did throw the ball more than we thought he would because he didn't have any wide receivers. He threw a couple big bombs that somebody caught.
Joe Flacco threw the ball 50 times, I believe. I'm like, you know what,
Yeah,
if Joe Flacco is throwing the ball 50 times, you're not going to win that football game.
Yeah, they're hoping Sack Attack over there comes back quicker than
Joe Flacco threw the ball 59 times. My goodness.
And the fans were screaming for Mike White.
Oh yeah, that's how bad it was.
That's how great that was.
Commanders beat the Jaguars barely 28-22. Carson Wentz scored 2 touchdown passes, and then Carson Wentz threw on back-to-back throws. He threw an interception who led to the touchdown. Then they get the ball back. He throws another interception that led to 10 points altogether, and then he comes in and caps off the game-winning drive. So Carson Wentz was his whole bag of caboodles there. I'm going to tell you right now
that Jahalan Dotson saved his life on that catch in the end zone because that was not really a great throw. And Dotson went and dives and makes a phenomenal catch behind the defensive back and wins that football game.
I wanted Dotson in Green Bay, and he's looking really good there so far.
He's already got 2 touchdowns this year. So
more than our wide receiver group put together. You got the Giants going into Tennessee, upsetting Tennessee. I could not help but to laugh at this, and I have
Saquon Barkley.
I have NFL Plus, and I was able to listen when the Packer game was over. I turned on to listen to this game because they said they were setting up a game-winning field goal. Sorry, I had to sneeze. And when he said it's up and he missed it, I was like, oh, of course. My team gets blown out, and I got to buy back in already week 1. I hate the Titans with the passion. Can't even count on you to beat the freaking Giants.
Yeah.
Chiefs dominate the Cardinals. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey, we haven't even mentioned the Patrick Mahomes revenge tour because that may be something to watch out for as he went
to Shut up, Craig, because did we say he was going to miss Tyreek Hill? Yeah, hold my beer.
He says Tyreek who? I don't know who we're talking about. 44 to 21.
I just throw to whoever's out here. I don't care.
Hey, was it double XP in Call of Duty was that why Kyler didn't study the film? Or I don't know. What's that?
We know that wasn't going to be it. I don't know. But Mahomes, 5 touchdowns and never missed a beat. And,
scorched earth. Yeah. I mean.
So, sorry, Cat. We missed the boat on that one. Guess your guy's okay still.
We butchered that one. Oh,
yeah, sure
man.
Did.
We've got
Aaron was the one that looked like he was missing.
Devontae Adams. Yep.
Yeah.
Raiders Chargers. I thought this game's gonna be game of the week. Probably the best game.
Carr did not look good at all. Standing in the pocket, holding on to the ball.
3 interceptions.
When he threw the ball to Adams, then it worked out. I mean,
10
Adams,
for 141.
And it's the same thing. They basically took the Packers offense and installed it, and Devontae's running the same routes, and basically he can tell the cornerback, this is where I'm going, and I'm still catching it. And he did. And but he got sacked a bunch of times, threw a bunch of interceptions.
3 interceptions. I didn't know he threw 3 interceptions. You can't throw 3 interceptions against the Chargers and win.
No. And they were all and again, 2 of them were back to back. Like he threw one, came back out on the field and threw another one and horrible.
The Chargers didn't look all that great.
No.
I mean,
that game was very winnable. That game was very winnable for the Raiders if you avoid turning the ball over. 100%.
Austin Eckler rushed for 36 yards.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs did nothing.
Keenan Allen had 66 yards receiving. That was their leading receiver. That's not a good game.
No. No, the Chargers were disappointing. If they play the same game against Kansas City will be 2-0.
Oh. Well, trust me, which
they might be anyway.
Well, they're going to be anyways, I think. I mean, the way what's up with Thursday night games? They're going to be Thursday night football games are going to be the best games of the year, apparently.
I think they did that. I think they did that because Amazon gave them bukus of money. So they said, here's some, especially to start the season.
Well, Craig, trust me, I was watching the Packers get their ass whooped, and they had the stat. They always pulled it up. They had the stat.
Has not thrown an interception in an NFC division game
not
since
that
2019.
Stat. Not that stat.
Pick.
Oh, that was a Hail Mary at the end of the quarter. I don't even count that. This stat said Devontae Adams' yards today, 116. Green Bay Packers offense, 101. No, I don't need that stat. Thank you.
The guy in the truck said, Brian Watson, this is for you.
This is for you. I'll get to laugh at you. Look, Packers got dominated, and kudos to the Vikings head coach because he had a fantastic game plan. And we heard this about the offseason that Justin Jefferson was talking about. This is what you're supposed to do, how he has it schemed open. He gets our routes open. And we saw it. He was open all freaking day. And
but if you look at Kirk Cousins' numbers, they weren't phenomenal. They was like the Justin Jefferson show. That's about it. I mean, he didn't have a bunch of touchdowns. He didn't throw for 400 yards. He didn't
277. He was a consistent bus driver who found
Justin Jefferson for 160 of the 270.
184.
Yeah, of the 270.
Yep. Dalvin Cook rushed it took him 20 carries to get to 90 yards. We were shutting him down.
So, but I mean, he didn't have that's not a normal Dalvin
that's what
Cook
happens
day.
when your offense does nothing. And look.
Yeah, but they still scored 27 points somehow.
23-7. I was wrong on that 27 number. 23-7. Aaron Rodgers can you get rid of the football, my dude?
Yeah.
Holding on to the ball for 10 seconds and blames everybody else.
Yeah.
And people are
My offensive line didn't block. Well, nobody's blocking.
No one's blocking for 25 seconds back
there. You sit back there and bake a cake.
Well, the wide receivers can't get open. Okay, well, throw the damn ball away. Use your legs. You didn't run one time yesterday.
Jalen hurts it right into the back of the offensive line. It's still not intentional grounding.
And then when Watson dropped that 75-yard wide open touchdown pass, I was like, oh, my gosh, here we go. And that set the tone. Aaron Rodgers over here screaming, all pissed off, rolling his eyes. You got to have some patience, and you got to trust in these guys because you ain't got no one else to throw the football to. That's it. Well, Jordan Love came in, got the ball out of his hand, and didn't take sacks.
Somebody stepped on his ankle in practice, and his big toe hurts or something. So,
yeah, it's messed up his ankle. He's all messed up. And they're like, "Oh, we got Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins has never been good. He's not going to be good with
Sammy Watkins is 70, bro. He's in a walker.
We already talked to Bucks and Cowboys. Bucks dominate that. The Cowboys defense is the only shining star there. Micah Parsons
wasn't great from the 20 to 20.
You buckled down in the red zone.
Yeah, basically that's all they did. They let Tom Brady march up the field, and then they stopped him in the red zone 3 times, to kick field goals, and then Mike Evans has a phenomenal falling back one-handed grab in the end zone. And the field goal kicker kicks a bunch of 30-yard field goals, and it's 19 points. But the Cowboys drove down the field. I think they crossed midfield one time. That was the first drive of the game. They got to the 30. That was as far as they ever got.
Yeah, that was their best drive.
Yeah, that was it.
And that's sad.
Dak Prescott, 6 for 17. I mean, worst game of his career, book-wise. QB rating of like 17.
Cowboys. Well, out of all the quarterbacks in the league, Dak Prescott looked the worst in the whole NFL.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'll be honest with you, I'm wondering if that pop in his ankle, there wasn't something there because he looked terrible.
The Cowboys talk about they talked about his shoes and they talked about it rubbing his foot. How many times are they going to lie to us?
Oh,
there was not that.
Every
chance they get. You can't trust this team with medical information coming out.
You know when Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones are lying? Every time their mouth moves.
Yeah.
I mean, they swore up and down it was a shoe deal, and Jay Glazer comes out on Sunday morning and goes, no. There was a
No.
pop in his
He heard a
foot,
pop in his
and,
ankle.
and they went and did it. It turned out to be just scar tissue, they think. But the way he played, I'm not real positive because
He looked bad.
I don't know if that's the lack of preseason work that was what it attributed to, or that he's going to have a horrible season. Because right now, and Cooper Rush didn't look a whole lot better. So we'll see against Cincinnati.
Cooper Rush is you're. I mean,
he's trash. He is.
If you win one
you talk
game
about,
with him, I'll be surprised.
You talk about Drew Lock being trash. Cooper Rush may not even be Drew Lock.
Wow, Jerry Jeudy, I'm looking this up random. 4 catches for 102 yards. Thank you. Someone knows how to use Jerry Jeudy. Thank you. All right, well, that's the games this week. Let's jump into our picks for week 2. I edged you out there week 1. My one pick that I needed that had money on the line was not right, but, whatever. What are we betting on this, by the way? Are we betting just like a dinner or what? Your mic's off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, well, picks for week 2. We got Thursday night game, Chargers versus the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs winning this one. It's at home. They just blew the doors off of the Cardinals. I'm not a big fan of Arizona. The Chargers didn't look all that great against the Raiders. They pull off the victory there, but I just think the Chiefs right now have got to probably be the best team in the maybe the whole league, but in the AFC right now. There you go, Kat. Are you happy, Kat? Hope you're listening.
Give me Kansas City.
Yep. You got Baltimore versus the Dolphins. This one should be pretty interesting. I had a tougher time picking this one than I thought. I thought, the Ravens beat the Jets. That doesn't matter. Miami looked pretty good, but they, only put up 20, and it was against the Patriots. So I got the Ravens winning this one, though. I think they're going to win it. It's at home. I'm not too sure about that one, but I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Give me Team Tua.
Team Tua. Didn't sound too confident in that.
No, I'm not a Ravens fan. I don't trust Lamar Jackson any further. I can throw him. That's a better defense than he faced in the Jets. I think he'll have some scramble time and everything like that. So, give me Miami.
Jets and Browns. This one's easy. Give me the Browns.
Boy, I don't know.
If you don't know, hey, you can take the Jets. I'll gladly take that win.
If you watched Jacoby Brissett, brother, that 147 yards against air, basically.
I'm just relying on the defense of the Browns. I'm
going to take the Browns because Flacco is deal. But man, if there was another win, if it comes back to bite me, I'm going to deal because I don't like the Browns at all.
Commanders go into the Detroit. I got the Lions winning this one. First win of the week, first win of the season for them. Another coin toss, but I just think that I think they're going to win at home.
I want to, but they kind of snake bit me. Give me the Commanders. I just think that defense of the Lions just maybe not ready yet, and the way the wide receivers played and went through the ball on the field. I hope that one's a loss for me, but to make up some ground, give me the Commanders.
Colts go to Jacksonville. I got the Colts winning this one. I think they bounced back after a bad week last week, and
Trevor, I can't win a football game. Lawrence.
Oh man, yeah. If he don't pan out, we don't see some progression from him this year.
He didn't look good. He didn't look good Sunday. I'll tell you that.
Bucks Saints. This is always an interesting one. Two teams that always play each other pretty well.
Bucks I don't know if he's ever beat the Saints. Well, he has, but I mean, I think he's already got 2 losses to him.
Maybe they know the trick on beating Tom Brady. I got the Bucks winning this one.
Yeah, I have to go with Tampa. They look pretty good defensively, and New Orleans was a slow start. Give me Tampa.
Yeah. Panthers go to the New York Giants, and this one was a coin toss for me. I said Giants just came off a win. They're going to be riding high. They're not very good, though, but I like Brian Daboll. And you got Baker Mayfield, who played pretty decently this last week. I got the Panthers winning this one.
I'm going to go one more time with Baker. If he gets me again, then we're not going to do this again. So we're going to go Baker one more time.
Steelers versus the Patriots in Pittsburgh at the new Acrisure Stadium, Heinz Field. I'm just going to call it Heinz Field. I got the Steelers winning this one. I think their defense will do enough. They shut down Joe Burrow pretty much.
Yeah, but they don't have T.J. Watt.
How healthy is Mac Jones? So
he's not healthy. If his back gets hit again, boy, but it's Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, Trubisky. If he loses 2 more games looking bad, I think they switch. But
New England doesn't have anybody. Oh, give me New England.
New England, okay. I'm putting a star by the teams that we choose differently. Rams, Falcons. I don't even need to ask that question. You're going with the Rams, right? I mean, there's no
I don't know. Matt Stafford. I'm calling me Peyton Manning in my final year. I can't throw the ball 9 yards in the air.
If Mariota goes into the Rams and wins, I'm counting the Rams out this year.
Yeah. So yeah, give me the Rams.
Seattle and 49ers, and this one was the hardest pick for me. This one was tough. The 49ers just came off a crappy game. Trey Lance looked like garbage, but Seattle just beat Denver. Now Seattle wasn't. If Denver doesn't fumble the ball twice, they win that game. I got the 49ers bouncing back on this one. I'm not 100% sure on it, though. They're at home.
Give me the Seahawks. The 49ers just lost their main running back. Elijah Mitchell's out for 8 weeks. And Trey Lance, I didn't trust any farther than I can throw him. And Geno Smith looked amazing.
Geno Smith looked really dang good.
That defense was flying around. So, I mean,
I might switch my pick. I don't know. It's 49ers home game. They got a good defense.
Are you going with Jeff Wilson and Trey Lance? Is that that's what you're gonna hitch your wagon to? Have at it.
I think Seattle playing at home, that 12th man.
That crowd was on fire.
I think they had a little extra fire in them, and I don't think that fire comes out. I'm going to stick with 49ers, but I'm not too confident in that.
Go ahead and throw that for the Survivor pool, too. Throw that one in there. Throw that one on Survivor Island, too.
I'm not picking the Niners until Jimmy comes back. So
yeah, good luck with that.
Bengals, Cowboys.
Jimmy's going to be a Cowboy shortly. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Bengals, Cowboys, not even a question.
Well, it shouldn't be, but by God, if Burrow throws 5 more interceptions,
what are you going with?
I need
an official. Okay,
yeah, I'm
that's
go
what I
with
thought.
Only because it's Cooper Rush.
Broncos, Texans, Broncos.
Oh,
not even a question.
Yeah, I guess.
Raiders, Cardinals.
Give me the Raiders.
I got Raiders too. Packers, Bears. That's easy.
Yeah, well, is it? If we can't score more than 3 points.
It's easy. Who are you going? Yeah. You got to give me.
Give me Green Bay.
Okay, I think you're frozen, but I can still hear you. If we lose to the Bears, all hope's lost. The Bears are garbage. Titans, Bills. That's Bills all day long. Are you there, Craig? Can you hear me? You're going to freeze up right when we're doing our picks. You would do that. Now I got to find some time to fill some time here. Find some stuff. Craig, are you here? Your internet is on red. That means you're no longer here. I'm gonna kick you off. There you go. Craig will be back on in a second. Bills and Titans. We're picking our teams for week 2. Bills don't have a chance, or the Titans don't have a chance. They just lost to the freaking Giants at home. The Bills are on a revenge tour. The Bills will dominate that game almost 100% sure. I thought, for my Survivor League, I picked the Titans to win and beat the Giants. I was wrong on that one. I forgot one here. Vikings, Eagles. It's Monday night. And it's Monday Night Football, and we all know Kirk Cousins cannot play on Monday Night Football. He doesn't play well. It's a road game. He doesn't play well at night. I'm going to go with the Eagles winning this one. I think that's a decent pick. Minnesota looked good, though. Their head coach had against Green Bay, they looked fantastic. Here is Craig again. Thank you, Craig. Of course, you would die right in the middle of our picks.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you talk about Green Bay. My computer's like, oh.
Don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Well, you got Packers, I'm guessing, because there's no way. There's no way
yeah.
you're going to tell me that the
Yeah.
Bears are going to be the Packers. Titans, Bills. We both got the Bills.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see this game. It's Monday night. Vikings go to Philadelphia and play the Eagles Monday Night Football. I got the Eagles. Kirk Cousins does not play well in night games, and he's going into Philly. Prime time game.
Down my leg, Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Give me the Vikings.
Give me the Vikings. All right. I took the Vikings and I said, wait a minute. It's prime time. And look, they could win this game. I think the Vikings are a better team than a lot think they are. And their head coach, one heck of a game plan against us. So, all right, there's our picks for week 2, guys. Our picks for week 2. All right, well, we got through this a lot faster than I expected to, which is good because we don't need a 5-hour show. NCAA. Let's jump into the upsets. Jump into what went down in college football. My favorite was Appalachian State. Stunning Texas A&M.
After letting up 40 in the fourth quarter of the other game.
Yeah. They stunned
Texas A&M.
I've heard so much about the quarterback of Texas A&M. He's young, but he's so talented. He looked like garbage. He could not get this offense going whatsoever. Yeah. They paid Appalachian State $1.5 million to come in here and walk away with a paycheck and a W.
Yeah, Marshall beat Notre Dame.
Oh, I didn't even put that on here. I have a little list here because Notre Dame is the most overrated team ever. I mean, they get so much hype. The Longhorns are kind of like that way too,
and they lose their quarterback for 4 months. So
the Longhorns?
No. Well, the Longhorns lose him for 6 weeks, but Notre Dame lose their quarterback with a sprained AC joint for 4 months.
It might be good for them because their quarterback was garbage.
Yeah.
A bad start for the new head coach. Bad start. Yeah, terrible.
He's a defensive coordinator, and you're losing to Marshall. That's not a good thing.
That's not a good thing. Longhorns scare Alabama,
and if they have the quarterback,
Quentin Ewers,
they probably beat him.
He was lighting them up.
Yeah, that was that Alabama escaped. With the skin by the skin of their teeth on that deal.
By the hair on their chin.
I thought the Longhorns were going to scare the nation.
They should have. You look back at that.
100% should have.
The hit on what's his face in the end zone.
Bryce.
What? Yeah. How is that not a safety? How is that not intentional grounding? They call the penalty on Texas. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
They get away with a holding call on the run that gave them the first down and kind of sealed the deal there. Texas Longhorns should have won this game.
Absolutely.
And I hate it because Alabama is still dropped one spot.
This game, you thought Texas didn't belong in the SEC and they were going to get blown out by all these SEC teams. Defensively, they look a whole lot better. And when they start to have Ewers and they start to have Manning in a year or two, Texas could be
You know
fighting
why
in the SEC.
I did not know this until over the weekend, but you know why your defense is so good? You got TCU's head coach over there running it.
Oh, yeah, that is right. He did.
He's signed there. He's not. I don't think he's a defensive coordinator, but he's a defensive coach.
Yep.
And they went from night and day. This defense last year is not like this. This year, they're playing their lights out. If they get the, I'm not a big believer in Texas. I think they're overhyped as well. But
I don't know, Steve Sarkisian and then Gary Patterson.
If this defense plays this good, oh man, watch out. All they need is a couple wide receivers. You got your quarterback. You got
Oklahoma doesn't look great.
Oklahoma does not look good at all. Watch out. You had BYU upset Baylor. Baylor number 9 lost to BYU number 21. I watched most of that game. I fell asleep and then it went over overtime. But Baylor did not look impressive whatsoever.
Kentucky beats Florida, and now they're ranked.
Well, look at the rankings here. The rankings came back out. I hate it because Alabama barely beats an unranked team,
Texas,
and they fall one spot. My gosh, I cannot stand that.
Well, none of these matter. None of these matter until the playoff starts to get, the committee meets,
yeah, I know. I just hate that
hotel in Dallas.
If Alabama lost, they would have failed number 3. I mean, that's how they get the love
absolutely.
all the freaking time.
And that's how they have a loss and still end up in the championship game because they don't ever drop them. When you lose to an unranked team, you should drop to 7 or 8. You should fall. You should be penalized. It should be harder to get back in to the playoff, and it never does.
Especially to unranked team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you lose, when Michigan lost to App State, Appalachian State has beat some big schools.
Oh,
they beat Michigan. They beat, Notre Dame now. I mean, that ain't no joke over there, that program they're running.
You got Kentucky jumped up to number 9. They jumped up 11 spots. Arkansas jumped up 6. BYU jumped up 9 spots to number 12. Baylor drops all the way down to number 17. Texas is now ranked at number 21. Texas A&M falls 18 spots and barely hanging on at number 24. So we'll see. I haven't heard much about Oklahoma. They jumped up 1 spot, but you haven't heard much from them. USC looks pretty good. Lincoln Riley out there, they jumped up 3 spots, number 8, but I don't know. Or number 7, sorry. It's always interesting to see where they have these teams. Tennessee jumped up 9 spots, number 15. After they beat Florida the other night. So there's a lot of upsets, and that's what you got to love about college football. I mean, you got upsets all the time. I think it's so funny that they pay these schools to come in here and like, we're gonna beat them. We're gonna whoop your butt for $1 million, and then they end up winning and then taking that $1 million check on the way home.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's
love
good.
it. All right, well, I think that's just going to be just about cover it. We covered week 1 of the NFL. We gave you our top 5 teams or our top teams that started off the roughest. We gave you our picks for week 2. We covered the NCAA football as well. So look forward to episode on Friday. We'll look forward more into this weekend college schedule and the games coming up. And I'll give you my top 5 games. What I do on Friday is I usually do my top 5 games of coming up in the NFL and kind of go maybe a little further into them. But other than that, Craig, since you're not here on Fridays, why don't you go ahead and give us a what is in your locker, sir?
Friday night, we got another football game going to the Colony. That'll be fun. We are 3-0, and we have outscored the opponents 158-27. So 165-0 Friday night. Real barn burner. Nip and tuck there at the end. And then Saturday, it looks like we're gonna head out and set up feeders and hunting plots and stands and everything like that to out in Chico to be ready for the end of the month for hunting season to begin.
A little late start, huh?
Yeah, that's what happens when your brother goes and does all kinds of different stuff. I got Bill Burr this weekend, and I got that, and I got this, and I don't know. So, anyhow, we're ready for that, and other than that, watching football on Sunday, and we'll be ready to go.
Nice. This last Saturday, we took a trip to Waco, and I forget Baylor's in Waco. I don't know why. We went down there and I see all these Baylor hats.
How do you not remember?
Because I've first of all, I've never been to Waco. I mean, I drive through it to get down south, but I've never stopped. My first official trip to stop in Waco.
You like that construction down there?
Yeah. Well, we didn't catch we were on like the northern part. Like we hit the zoo, we hit the.
That's
Dr.
a pretty
Pepper.
nice zoo, though.
Yeah, it is. It was
is.
actually really nice. We had a blast. I mean, It seems like we were up really close to the animals. I'm like, damn, it feels like I could touch this leopard right here.
Yeah, it's not Fort Worth because it's not as big, but it's very nice.
And then we went to a macaroni bar. There's like a macaroni bar. This place is pretty cool though. It's called something Union. I forget what it's called. You go in this building and it's like a bunch of almost like food trucks, little bitty food stands, and you can get anything there. You got pizza, you got macaroni cheese bar, you got dessert. There's a bar in there. You got burgers, Chinese. So you can all go to this one place and kind of go from there. And we got the macaroni cheese bar, and it was okay. It wasn't anything fantastic. I feel like I could have done a better job at my house. But then we went and got some pies from this little pie shop and some edible cookie dough. They have not ice cream. They have edible cookie dough shop there. It's a pretty neat little place. I wish they would open up something like that here in Fort Worth. But then we went to the Dr. Pepper Museum, which is pretty fun. And I saw these Baylor hats. I'm like, man, what is Baylor? Oh, I forget Baylor was in Waco. If I knew, I would have worn my BYU shirt because I follow TCU and BYU.
Oh, way to go there, Troll,
Captain Troll. But I forgot, and then I come home and watch BYU beat them. So that's kind of interesting. But well, guys, that's your episode this week, episode 152. We're Talks on Tuesday here. We're Start Edition. We got an episode coming out on Friday. It looks like we can cover all games there, Craig.
Yep,
and do it pretty quickly.
Fastest 2 minutes in sports.
Fastest 2 minutes in sports. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a fantastic week. It's Tuesday. We're headed over into Wednesday tomorrow. Week's about halfway over. I hope you have a great week. God bless, and remember,
keep it outspoken.
There we go.